LifeLock, how can I help?
The IRS said I filed my return, but I haven't.
1 in 4 tax-paying Americans has paid the price of identity fraud.
What do I do?
My refund, though.
I'm freaking out.
Don't worry, I can fix this.
LifeLock fixes identity theft guaranteed and gets your money back with up to $3 million in coverage.
I'm so relieved.
No problem. I'll be with you every step of the way.
1 in 4 was a fraud-paying American. Not anymore. Save up to 40% your first year. Visit LifeLock.com/podcast. Terms apply.
Pay attention. The ferry leaves at 10 a.m. Roads are busy.
Great.
Dad, pack the boot. Suitcases, Tetris style.
Yeah.
Rosie, got your teddy? No going back this time. Honey, how's the car?
Windows clean, car wax, carpets.
I meant the tyres.
Oh, sorted them at Quick Fit last week.
Brilliant. If things go to plan, it'll be smooth sailing.
Planning the perfect getaway this summer? Make sure your tyres are up for the job. Book today at quickfit.com or your local centre. Quick Fit. Drive away happy every time.
Are you a lifelong fan of General Hospital?
Are you a new fan who wants to know more about the history of the show?
Do you enjoy talking about the show with others?
Do you find yourself yelling at the TV?
Is your self-care an hour a day in Port Charles?
If so, we invite you to join hosts
Amanda Kimmel
and Shannon Coach at the place where all the hidden conversations take place and secrets are revealed.
Meet us at Pier 54,
a General Hospital fan podcast. Hello.
Hi.
Welcome to the General Hospital recap for June 2nd through 6th, 2025. We have a few Port Charles pipelines. Just a reminder that if it has not aired, you have to assume that we don't know about it.
Right.
Please. If I had scheduled the sound clips, how I have been trying to do more, because remember, I'm trying to not be on social media as much.
Yeah.
I would not have seen something.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's weird that of all the days, because this is now like, what, twice that I have seen something recently. But yeah, please just assume that if it has not happened on screen, we don't know. So please wait until after it airs. Please, please, please. So I will snooze that. Holly, adoption. I'm a little uncomfortable with how the adoption is being portrayed as a lie. Yes, but I understand how Gio feels that way. And how Brook Lynn feels that way too, because she was promised. I feel like we maybe needed a little bit more clarification from exactly what Holly means is a lie.
Yeah, I mean, I think Gio just needs more exposure to people who have been adopted to come to the realization that that does not mean that Brook Lynn didn't want him. I mean, if she didn't want to go through with the pregnancy, there was a way around that. That wasn't the choice that she made. She just didn't feel comfortable enough to raise the baby, and she felt that it was best to place the baby with a different family. That is like the most selfless thing you could do as a parent. And so I think he just needs more exposure.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I kind of feel like we need to know what she's talking about with the lie. Because I understand where Brook Lynn's mad at Lois too, because it was a difficult decision for her to make, and she's been under one assumption, and it's not. I mean, we can get more into that, I guess, when. So, Holly, clarify which lie.
Right, there were so many around that.
But I mean, that does happen. I mean, I know a family that it was discovered later that sister was mom. And
I give all the props in the world to families that could go through with raising a child like that. I understand where they would be coming from, but
it was definitely an older generation.
Yeah, I don't think I'd be able to hide it. I don't think I would be able to hide my emotions. Like, I couldn't imagine. I know I wasn't that young, but I was still young having Matt. I couldn't imagine interacting with him. Yeah, I'm sure my mom absolutely would have known. My mom was older, but assuming that she was, air quote, normal mom age, I could totally see her being willing to raise him, but I don't think I could have interacted with him just as my brother. Like,
right.
That's a strength I don't understand. So, wow.
Yeah. I'm not entirely sure if the child knows.
Okay.
I just know. Yeah. It's not my business. So I stay out of it. But
right. Whatever works for your family.
This is one of those things that it sounds so soapy, and it's actually not.
Right.
But all right, I guess we can get into that a little bit. Holly, when do you ever send us 5 words? Hold it. Let me go back and count this too. She's going to be laughing now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm a little uncomfortable with how adoption is being portrayed as a lie. 14. See, I don't think it's She doesn't say the adoption. She just says how adoption. I don't feel like they're saying all adoption. I don't know. Holly, we need more details, girl. Come on. We know you have it in you.
Right. We've read the paragraphs.
We've had the conversations. Come on. And then we had somebody send in, I don't recall Lexi choosing to leave. She put out a statement so as not to burn her bridges. I believed her statement, though, because she opened up a production company and she was already producing things. And I know that she used to teach yoga, and I don't know if that got more popular. But then also, I did look it up. She moved to London.
Yeah, that would make sense of why she couldn't be on GH anymore.
So, and I feel like they were on track for Christina to have a bigger role than she had in a while.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like I can understand perceiving her statement as that, but I actually really do believe it.
Right. Oh, did you see those pictures of new Christina? What's her name? Kate Mancini? Is that her first name?
Yes.
Her wedding pictures?
No, she got married.
She did just get married, and apparently she invited everyone like it was just an engagement party, and then it was actually the wedding.
Oh. Oh, Bradford was at Steve's wedding, by the way.
I kind of assumed.
Jonathan Taylor Thomas was at her wedding.
Oh my goodness. Now you're very jealous you didn't get an invite.
We need to interview her. Who doesn't go out for anything? Right. So according to People, General Hospital star Kate, do you want to read? I'm so sorry.
No, go ahead, read it. No, I just saw the, me, you can't put a bridal picture in front of me and me not look at it. So it was on a couple of different GH sites, and I was like, oh my gosh. And so I just looked at it. So yeah.
You in charge of the emails, because you tend to find this stuff sooner than I do.
I think I just have less of a life than you, so I'm on social media more and don't do as good of a job of snoozing things. But anyway, if you have an actual article, go ahead, read your article, please.
It's in People from June 3rd or on people.com. General Hospital star Kate Mancini marries producer Matt McInnes in surprise secret garden wedding. We wanted that eruption of joy, that moment where love just takes over the room. Why am I going to cry? Okay. And then they have a little box that says need to know, and it says General Hospital star Kate Mancini, or Mansi.
Oh, is that how you say it?
M-A-N-S-I. Mansi or Mancini? Yeah, because we keep seeing, do you know why? Okay, if you are from Pittsburgh, there is a bread company called Mancini. And we are adding, first of all, it's an S, not a C, but we are adding letters. So it's Mansi. I'm going to assume it's Mansi and not Mancini. By the way, Mancini rolls. Good stuff. Married producer Matt McInnes in a surprise garden wedding in Los Angeles on Saturday, May 31st. The couple's 115 guests included actors Britt Robertson, Jonathan Taylor Thomas. Wow. I do have a problem with having crushes on Jonathan.
I see that from the expression on your face. How much you're so in love. When I was in
kindergarten, the little boy I had a crush on's name was Jonathan also. And then, of course, Jonathan Groff and Jonathan Bailey also.
You have something with J's.
And Jonathan Brandis.
You have a J problem.
I do have something for J's. Huh. Okay. It's only JD stood for Jonathan. I just want to know how Jonathan Taylor Thomas was at her wedding. All right, that's it for the show, guys. I'm done. Shelley Henning and Allie Mills. Oh my gosh, what if he did? Okay, I'm done. I'm not. And Allie Mills.
Yes. There was a cute picture.
Thought they were going to Pear's engagement party. Okay, but why was she there? I need this guest list explained.
Maybe they were friends with the husband, because he seems a little bit older.
He's a producer.
Yeah.
But 115 people, I feel like that's you're close. If you were getting invited to a celebrity surprise.
Yeah. I'm sorry. You'll have to reach out to her and tell her you need an explanation of our guest list.
Can we please talk to her? Just because I want to be like, wait a second. Actually, she is on my list of people I would like to talk to because I do really like her. Thought that we're going to the pair's engagement party, but were shocked to discover it was actually an elegant and deeply personal wedding celebration. The entire evening was meant to mirror our relationship, unexpected, full of humor, moving to its own rhythm, and rooted in deep connection.
It was really pretty.
Because she's 37. Oh, her birthday's 2 days after mine.
Wow, not that 37's old, but I did not think that she was that old. She looks good.
Yeah. She and producer fooled their guests when they invited them to what blah, 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 surprise. Our biggest goal and hurdle was to maintain that surprise. Her dress is gorgeous. I like that. That kind of looks like that's different. Like the bodice kind of looks like a suit, like in a vest and stuff. I'm just looking at from the waist up, so I don't see the full effect. Hold on. Let me find. Okay. The couple achieved their goal because the energy shifted instantly when Let's Get Married by Bleachers began playing. The element of discovery was everything. She says, later noting that the relief when the secret was out was unforgettable. The bride and groom specifically chose their elegant venue because it was allowed for a hidden ceremony space. Mansi notes that it was essential their friends and family couldn't see anything upon arrival that would give it away. No one suspected anything when they entered the understated and cozy lounge, which was set with candlelight and minimal grounding flowers from High Noon Floral. Well, that is a cute dress. I was right. Like the bodice is kind of, does it look like a vest to you? Like,
it's really cute.
Yeah. We approached the aesthetic with the idea that each space would tell its own story, building in intimacy, drama, and intention as the night unfolded, the couple shares. Every environment had a distinct energy and color palette. Ooh, they went in on this. But the design remained cohesive throughout, always in conversation with the natural architecture of each space. Champagne was passed as guests followed a candlelit path down the stairs to the garden, where an arched mirror set the tone perfectly by displaying a Mary Oliver quote McInnes and Mansi sent to each other early in their relationship. I did think, let's go about this slowly, but bless us, we didn't. There's Jonathan Taylor Thomas. He gave a speech. So he had to have known. Or he was just going to give a speech at the engagement party.
True.
Nothing. Oh, they're so cute. I'm not going to read the entire article, but it's really sweet. Hold on, we're going to do okay, yeah, it doesn't explain why. Hold it. Why was
I'm not sure you're going to get the explanation that you're looking for there.
No, but I need it. I need to know.
Maybe how does Jonathan Taylor Thomas know and then put their names in, not just why was he there?
How does
or connection to?
What's his name, Matt?
Sure.
We're going to go off of all it says is this indicates that Jonathan Taylor Thomas is a friend of either one or both.
Well, thanks, Captain Obvious.
Right. Thanks, AI.
Right? They didn't invite a stranger. Okay.
Right. All right. Yeah, we have to move on from this, but I don't know if I can.
I should have waited and brought it up during our check-in.
Oh, who wants to guess who was plastered all over my wall? Like scary obsessively, probably. It was floor to ceiling. I had everything. Like I even wrote in my Bible that Jonathan Taylor Thomas was Presbyterian.
Wow.
Because I was attending a Presbyterian church at the time. So
wow.
I still have that Bible. That's how I remember that. And actually I still have a box that has like a bunch of my pictures in it of like the Teen Beat and Bop and Teen and 17. They didn't really have that many pictures like that. Oh, what was another one? There was one that I'm thinking of and I can't remember. Yeah, but they didn't really have stuff like that.
YM had more than 17, but no, you're right. Teen Beat and whatever.
Magazine similar to Teen Beats. Tiger Beat.
Okay. Your family must have been nicer than mine was. I wasn't allowed to buy those magazines with all the pictures in them.
Katie just started laughing.
That teen
What?
smut. I wasn't allowed that.
What? Hold it. All the things that you were allowed to do as a child, that's where what you weren't allowed to do was buy it.
I mean, I guess if I had the money, I probably would have been allowed, but my parents did not buy those for me, and I didn't have pictures of boys up all over my room. Antonio Sabato Jr. was for real my first, oh my gosh.
Teen Beat was my favorite magazine. That's the one that I had the subscription to, and I think I actually got it as a birthday present every year.
Oh, okay.
Or Christmas.
Okay.
But yes, Teen Beat and I.
Huh.
Well, and I was in Girl Scouts, so we had the magazine. I think it was my birthday present every year because it would have been the beginning of the school year.
Yeah, that would make sense.
Okay, so then I have a mini reality check, but it's also kind of Port Charles Pipeline because I think that it's funny.
Okay.
So the dog bite expert in the Karen Reed trial.
Oh, geez, Louise.
Used to work at what is now called LA County Medical Center, but had been previously called General Hospital. That's all she kept saying on the stand. And I'm like, I don't think that it was actually called General Hospital, but she kept saying it had been previously called General Hospital. I Googled it just to see, and it says it was LA County General Hospital, and now it's the medical center, but it's what they use as the opening. It's the hospital that they use as the opening.
Wow.
Yeah. And fun fact, she was the first female police officer in Malden, Massachusetts. And where did my grandparents live when I was growing up? Malden.
Wow, you're very
like my
connected to
Grammy.
this trial.
Erica and I are watching it, and we're like, that's Grammy, just watching her. She's so sweet. But when she said that, because she's like, it used to be called General Hospital. And I'm like, can I email you and ask if you're a fan? Because, yes. Okay, sorry. And then we did have another email. Just says SW. You asked in last Lucky and Liz podcast about why witnesses. See, this was a transition about why witnesses weren't sequestered during Jason's trial. Just as I wouldn't rely on what happens within GH for medical advice, never rely on what happens in the GH courtroom for what a real courtroom would be like. I think we did say that, yeah.
Yeah.
Interestingly, this was mentioned this week. Always remember, Michael was sentenced for Claudia's death by the judge in Sonny's trial without ever himself being brought to trial or even indicted. Lawyers ask leading questions. They ask about irrelevant matters that would never be admissible. They allow the witnesses all to watch each other. The attorneys present supposed facts, not evidence. GH courtroom scenes are pure fiction with respect to the legal process. It's good to know that they're not even close.
Right.
It was always I loved Matlock growing up, but he always found out who did it.
Mm-hmm.
But it's but did they go to jail for it? Because all we saw was that his client didn't. We never saw that.
Right.
And because, yeah. Okay. Do you have anything?
No.
So speaking of Lucky and Liz, this week is part 28. So we've recorded a whole bunch. We're actually pretty much through July at this point right now. So we're almost done. But now I forget where we were.
27 or 28? That sounds right.
28 is coming up this upcoming week.
Okay.
And it is when basically Lucky and Liz decide to get divorced again and co-parent. And then there's a custody battle. And it's more courtroom stuff that is not going to make sense in real life.
There you go.
Oh, and it's the black and white ball.
Yes.
Okay. So there's that. Okay. Anything else you want to share that's going to kind of set me over the edge?
No.
All right. Let's get to the Hulu headlines. I just can't. She should really try to get him on General Hospital. That would be, I don't know what I would do.
Our podcast would become 3 hours long because you would have
here's every single fact about Jonathan Taylor Thomas you ever wanted to know.
You'd be reporting his lines this week, or I'm Shannon, we don't need to go into that much detail. Oh, we do.
And then did you see how he just held out his left hand? This is what that means. Okay, so on Monday, Elizabeth makes a discovery. Michael and Christina reunite. Brook Lynn unleashes her fury. Alexis is in the hot seat, and Sonny offers counsel. On Tuesday, Michael and Willow's divorce hearing begins. Sonny opens up to Jason. Trina defends Jocelyn. Rick strongarms Alexis. Jordan learns more about Dalton. On Wednesday, Brook Lynn and Lulu come face to face. Lucky surprises Elizabeth. Michael takes the stand. Anna puts pressure on Brennan. Laura and Sonny discuss family matters. On Thursday, Lucky faces a hard truth. Anna shares her suspicions with Jason. Curtis and Portia host a family gathering. Sasha is overwhelmed. Hey, thank you for not putting a spoiler in the description.
Yeah.
That's perfect. Thank you. She was overwhelmed. That is an accurate statement. And Willow springs into action. On Friday, Carly confronts Jason. Cody and Molly get better acquainted, which was super cute. And Curtis meets with Jordan. Nina makes a confession, and Drew is dismayed. Where do you want to start?
Marshall was back this week.
Yes,
that made me excited. I'm trying to think like what happened this week that I was actually like, oh, and Marshall was back. I missed him. I like whenever he comes back and they just do like the whole grandparents dinner and Trina gets to tell him everything. And then she introduced him to Kai, and he told Kai how I thought that they had met before. I thought that they had met before, but it was apparently their first meeting. So he told Kai how impressed he was with his football skills, and he was sorry to hear that he couldn't play anymore. And then Kai goes into talking about how wonderful Drew is. And I loved that Marshall like didn't miss a beat once they were out on the patio being like, Curtis, why does this kid like Drew? You need to tell him that Drew sucks.
Yeah, didn't he go to his going away party?
I thought that he did, but Trina introduced him this week.
Maybe as her boyfriend, not just this guy, Kai.
Maybe? I don't know. Because, yeah, I thought that he had already met him and commented on how amazing of a musician he was. But I could be wrong.
No, because I feel like I remember that also, but we could be. They also could have just been in the same. It was at the Savoy, right? Like I feel like it was at the Savoy.
That's what I thought. Maybe it was Gio instead, but I could have swore that it was him.
Or they were just in the same room and you just assumed that they met. Because who else? Somebody else met this week. Gio and Laura.
Yes.
So you kind of assume, oh yeah, they've never really seen each other. Because I think that we forget that sometimes, and that's what we've learned also from some of our interviews with cast members is they say, I didn't even meet them for like a year and a half because we never shared scenes. So I never saw them and we were never on the same days or whatever.
Right. But it was cute. Marshall was back. He was giving Curtis some fatherly advice on all of the drama with Portia. I don't know that I agreed with him that maybe he should give Portia the second chance that Curtis should give Portia the second chance that he couldn't give to Jordan. And I was because Jordan or Curtis just explained he was too hard on Jordan because he wanted explanation for things that were work related. So if everything that Portia had kept from him was work related also, like confidential tests of a patient or something like that, then I would totally be with them. Like that's the same thing. But he literally sat there and explained how it wasn't the same thing because Portia lied about stuff that was not work related. And then to find out that she was part of the whole ketamine stuff with Drew, like that's really out there.
I think the biggest thing was then like he talked to Jordan and Jordan's like, well, why don't you, give her, fight for your marriage or whatever. And it's, all he's been doing is catching Portia in lies. The real only lie that Jordan had was work.
Mm-hmm.
And as someone that formerly worked in that line of work, he really should have understood a little bit more.
Right.
And I mean, I don't know what I would do if, JD had to work undercover and couldn't tell me certain things. And, I would always be concerned. I don't know. I mean, like, that's just a completely different, it's such a completely different, and Jordan's, it wasn't really a lie. It was work.
Right, exactly. I understand being mad because you want information. Like even with whenever I was with my ex and there would be like a police case, like he would say, oh, I'm not going to pick up the kids on time today or whatever because I have to be at the hospital. CYS needs to get involved in this call I was just on. Of course, right. I was curious, number one, because it was kids, and number two, just because I'm curious, like, what happened? Why is CYS involved? Like, what happened that they were called, blah, blah, blah. He can't share that information with me. So I didn't get that information. It would have never been something that I would have been like, you know what, I'm not talking to you anymore because you won't share this information with me. It's not your business.
And it's not like he didn't know that was her job.
Right, exactly.
It's not like she said, I own a bakery, and then she's an assassin.
Right. She doesn't work for the WSB.
Right. But and what Portia did, Portia's lie could have killed somebody intentionally with malice.
Right.
So, and completely, like he even said, she put me in a position where I couldn't run my business how I want to because I have to be protecting her. And, she's really just not thinking of anyone but herself. Because she says that she's thinking of Trina, but she wasn't. That had nothing to do with Trina.
No. If she
was always her excuse before, but not this time.
Right. If she was thinking of Trina, I can understand. I mean, you think things and play it out in your mind. So you can have a bad idea, but then once you think it through, wait a second, this would make me lose my medical license. I would have no money to support her. Or this would make me lose credibility with these people or go to jail or whatever. Then you don't go through with it. You put your kid first that way. You don't continue doing messed up stuff. And to not know or not think that they were going to run, in the case of the Heather Weber stuff, that they were going to run that test multiple times. We're deciding if we're going to let someone out of prison or not. Yeah, we're going to run this test a few times to double check the information.
Yep, just a few.
I know I don't like Portia, so I won't be sad if her marriage blows up, but I'm not normally one to be like, oh yeah, just give up. But they're not the same. And even Curtis explained that. So I didn't like that Marshall was like, oh, maybe you want to give her another chance. But I did like just seeing him back in the picture, even if it was just for a day.
Yeah, me too. That was sweet.
Oh, and then Kai overheard.
Yes.
He overheard Curtis yelling at Portia about the whole drugging Drew, which is going to get real complicated whenever they're trying to tell him that Drew's the bad guy, not them. And instead, he's hearing that they did illegal stuff.
Do you want to stick on? We could just stick with Kai and all the problems with his storyline.
I thought for a split second
without a single surgery scar.
Yep, I saw that, and I thought for a minute because so I'm pretty sure the pool scene was first, right? And then later they ended up at Curtis's house, and that's where they saw. I was so ready for whenever Marshall said he needed a drink refill, and Kai was like, "Let me get that for you." I was so ready for him to stand up and be like, "Oh, my back!" It finally to have caught up with him, and instead he just popped right up and went and got that drink.
I don't know what's happening. I feel like we're rushing through some things. Are we just trying to get over this because we were done with this storyline and we're just going to forget but we can't be because it's such an integral part of what's going on with Drew.
Right. And even Kai and Trina said they can't wait for him to be able to be back on the field or not so that the documentary stops. So they must still be planning on filming something to go along with that.
Yeah.
I really don't know what they're doing.
I don't know either. But yeah, the pool's finally open. They finally figured out New York weather. Pools don't open. Okay, I opened my personal pool in my backyard because we took advantage of the super hot week that we had in March. And if JD and I had not gone to Punta Cana the month before, I really don't think that he would have been out there doing it, but he did. And so our pool was technically opened in March, and I got in for 5 minutes on April 28th because it was 90 degrees outside and I wanted to. But that's my personal pool. I wasn't inviting you over for a swim party.
No.
No. But yeah, they finally figured out New York weather, at least in terms of pools don't open until Memorial Day.
Right.
But Gio's a lifeguard this year.
Gio is. I was
a boy.
Yes, I was glad to see that he was back in time because they didn't really say when him and Emma were coming home, and then he kind of explained he needed to be back for his job.
Yep.
I thought it was weird that Maxie met Sonny there, And I know we don't normally comment on actors' like personal appearance, but oh my gosh, Kristen Storms looks amazing lately. Like they're dressing her better. I don't even just mean like body wise. Like obviously she's lost some weight, but I'm never gonna comment on that one way or the other because that's her.
I don't think that we have. Yeah.
Yeah, that's her own personal. I don't mean that. I just mean like they're finally dressing her where she looks like Maxie and she looks like so cute.
Yeah. They could rub a little bit of that off on Brook Lynn.
Right? Maybe they can only dress one person nice at a time. Like you have to wait your turn. Unless you're someone like Molly who like strictly is in suits all the time. If they have to dress you for different occasions, like everyday wear, it can only be one at a time. But anyway, Maxie and Sonny were talking about if Jens was really necessary. And I felt like it was pointless because of course he's necessary. And Sonny heard all that whenever they had to invite Jens into the business. I mean, it was beneficial. Right. He told Maxie, I think that the only reason that Jens is invested in your company is because he's trying to follow what I'm doing or be somehow connected to my business. So that was helpful. But as far as questioning her on if Jens was really necessary or not, they would have never done all the paperwork and looked into him the way that they did in order to use his product if it wasn't necessary. Like if you could just buy it at Costco, they'd have been going there.
Right. Well, I don't think Costco sells the ingredients to make cosmetics, but I don't know. I don't make cosmetics, so I don't know. Right. I just thought it was funny when she was like, so we've already made back your investment like 10 times over. Sorry.
Right. This is like flying off the shelves, and we need the product that Jens brings to the table.
But I like how honest she was with him, too, about so my kids need to eat. They refuse to stop growing and eating.
Yes.
Or else, sure, I'll go ahead and not work with him.
Yep.
And then we saw, so Joss went to the pool because she saw Dalton had that in his calendar and then saw that he was meeting with Jens.
Mm-hmm.
And so they actually asked her to join them.
Right. That was weird, but yeah.
And so she did. And then later, Dalton's all smiley and creepy with Emma.
Yeah. I mean, she played into it, which I guess what more could she do? Like, she needs a connection to him. She needs to figure out what to say to him to get to know what he's doing and stuff. But yeah, it's still gross. I know that she's legally an adult and whatever, but I'm sorry. Again, because we have kids close to those ages.
50.
Ew.
And it's still not okay.
True. Because he's her professor, it's gross no matter what. Like, don't abuse that power. But at the same time, just knowing that she's so young and she seemed to have such an interest in him, he should be professional enough to be like, listen, you're too young, regardless of the fact that you're my student. Like, no. And your interest is just weird. Like, you don't really know me. Calm down.
Right.
But instead, he'll check her out in her bikini. Ugh.
Just gross.
Yep. Oh, I did love, oh my gosh, Lucas and Marco. And I loved Maxie being like, please tell me that eye candy over there is Marco.
Well, that's what she had to leave Sonny for. She's like, I'm so sorry. We can talk later. I have important things to talk about. And then she left and went and sat with Lucas and was like, man, good job.
She flat out called him Candy. That was great.
Yes.
And then we saw Natalia fighting with him over the same crap that she keeps fighting over with him. I understand as a mom, you don't want to lose the relationship with your kids. Like, it's very stressful whenever your kids are upset with you about something. But I'm sorry, I would not follow them to the different locations that they are just to badger them about, please talk to me, tell your sister to talk to me, blah, blah, blah. Especially whenever I was intoxicated. Like, that is not the way to get through to your children.
Right. Well, and I know she doesn't want anything to do with me, but I want to go on tour with her. She needs me. No, she really doesn't. She's been doing this for quite some time without you.
Right. It's been months that you haven't been with her. She's fine.
Maybe you should look at that.
Exactly. I don't know. I think they need to decide what they're doing with Natalia's character because she just feels like she doesn't fit in anywhere at this point, and continuing to throw her at poor Marco is annoying. And now she's arrested, and she's screaming and yelling about how she was only arrested because she's not Sonny Corinthos, which is absurd. You were arrested because you were obviously intoxicated. I can't even imagine how you were driving. And then she got to the jail, and Molly was going to be the one to start the case. And then she's like, yeah, I can't do anything with you because I don't like you because you were so mean to my sister. So someone else has to come in and deal with you.
I did like that it wasn't she had to, it was she wanted to.
Mm-hmm.
She's like, so I'm going to go ahead and recuse myself because of personal. And she's like, I don't know you. She's like, no, but you know my sister.
Exactly. And you
like,
were
Christina
all
forgave
kind of...
me, and she's like, I don't care.
Christina has a bigger heart than I do, so I don't want to talk to you.
But then 88 Turner is interested in talking about Sonny with her.
Yeah.
So
she better not give any information on Sonny. She already did enough by telling Jens the stuff that she told him about Sonny needing the heart surgery and stuff. She better not say anything to the DA.
Right.
And that DA is just desperate too. Right before that, she was taking a run in the park and saw Jason talking to Anna and is like, why are you guys talking? Like, they couldn't have just bumped into each other also. Why is it any of your business?
She's like, so we're talking about, Joss and Gio. Joss and Gio? No, Joss.
No, Joss and Emma.
Yeah.
Because of Professor Dalton.
Yes. But I don't know. Isn't this what Margot did?
Yeah. Yeah, she was desperate.
She was a cop, Sonny. Right? Or no, it was ADA.
Yeah, she was an ADA. She was desperate. Yeah.
And then she and Sonny, Margot Dawson. That was it.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, she was only on for a year.
Yeah, it wasn't that long. Apparently she couldn't get Sonny, so she left.
But she was the DA. And that's what ADA Turner wants to take Robert's job.
Yes.
Oh, she dated Drew. But when he was Jake. Wait, maybe. Yes. Because it would have been shortly after he came back, right?
Sure.
Jake Doe.
I'm not positive.
I could be wrong. I'm not going to read this entire thing. But yeah, I feel like that's very Margot-ish. Or Hannah Scott, too. That might be who I was thinking of, too. But she was FBI. That's who I was thinking of. Because she had a romance with Sonny. Did Margot?
I don't know that she had a romance. They were flirty, but I don't know that they ever went through with anything.
Nope. It just says that she kissed Drew and had a spouse. So, okay. It might have been Hannah is who I was thinking of. Oh, well. I don't know where to go from there.
Oh, so Anna was talking to Jason about the fact that she can't investigate Dalton because she already went to the WSB, and although they played it off like they had no idea and they would look into it somewhat, you could tell that Dalton was protected by them, or they were already investigating him. So she needed Jason to do it because the WSB would be blocking her around every corner. And we saw Brennan talk to Joss and say, hey, by the way, Anna is investigating this guy too. And so if you see her, just kind of downplay it and act like a typical intern, oh, it's nice to see you, whatever kind of stuff. Don't play into her hand, basically.
Yeah. So remember how we talked about Brennan is probably involved with Sidwell?
Yeah. Right. Exactly.
Yeah, I'm thinking definitely so.
Yeah.
Which, remember, I said Drew was responsible for the bomb a couple weeks ago, but I think before that we talked about Brennan actually being involved.
Maybe. Sure.
I feel like we talked about that. Because remember we talked about the fact that somehow Sidwell survived the airstrike.
Right.
I forget.
No, you definitely said that. I'm not sure where we went with it from there,
I
but
get a lot of
definitely
theories.
Mentioned it.
I really should get one of those boards. But I can't even keep up with my Google Doc. So
everybody start investing in string because Shannon's going to start doing those boards.
And I'm going to do different color codes too. It's going to be great.
The stock market for string is about ready to go through the roof. But that was pretty much it with like Joss.
And then later on, just with Sidwell, Marco told him that he's like, nope, I said I was going to be in your legit dealings. Keep me out of this stuff. And by the way, stupid move buying the Piers.
Yes, I did love that he called him out on that and was like, what are you doing?
He really Sidwell might just be a little bit delusional when it comes to the peers. Because remember, we were thinking, like, what's his thing? He just really might think that they're going to give up wanting ownership of them if they get taken away from Sonny.
Yeah.
I don't think that they're going to want him to have them either.
No, they're not. And yeah, he said to Marco, well, that's difficult because some things that are legal here or that are illegal here aren't illegal other places. So as long as you're only representing me in the countries where it's not illegal, and I feel like that's crap. Like, who would ask their child to represent them in something that might be shady?
But how bad does Natalia have to be as a mother that he is willing to accept that?
True.
And not whatever it is that she did.
Right.
Because Sidwell also has an issue with her that we still don't know what happened.
I could probably ask my ex this, but I'm not going to right now. I want to know, when you get your one phone call in jail, do they give you your actual phone back? Because that's what she was calling from, because it came up on his phone as her number, which I feel like they shouldn't do that for a multitude of reasons. But then I was also concerned because if I got arrested tomorrow and I needed to call you to bail me out, I do not know your phone number.
I don't know yours.
I need my phone in order to call you to bail me out.
So according to Google, the myth of only getting one phone call from jail is not true. Legal websites and legal professions indicate that arrestees generally have the right to make multiple calls, and in some jurisdictions, they are allowed to make at least 3 calls within a few hours of arrest. The right to the phone call is a constitutional right, and denying it can be a civil rights violation.
Okay. I mean, that would make sense because
use your cell phone.
What if I call you and you're sleeping? Like, I need someone now.
They might let you access your contacts for that information, but not let you actually call from the cell phone, because they probably have to have some kind of record keeping.
I would think so. And I thought it was funny because Natalia was like, yeah, give me some privacy. I'm like, girlfriend, if you don't realize that is a two-way mirror right there, you're not getting privacy. They can see you and hear what you're saying from the other side.
Right. That's true.
But yeah, I just wondered in context of remembering.
Pay attention. The ferry leaves at 10 a.m. Roads are busy.
Great.
Dad, pack the boot. Suitcases, Tetris style.
Yeah.
Rosie, got your teddy? No going back this time. Honey, how's the car?
Windows clean, car wax, carpets.
I meant the tyres.
Oh, sorted them at Quick Fit last week.
Brilliant. If things go to plan, it'll be smooth sailing.
Planning the perfect getaway this summer? Make sure your tyres are up for the job. Book today at quickfit.com or your local centre. Quick Fit. Drive away happy every time.
I guess, one thing about Vaughn seeing Joss at the pool and everything, and then going to Brennan and kind of telling on her and everything. He is now reading Budapest Crossing.
Oh, okay.
The fake book that makes its rounds to everybody.
We need a copy of that.
I should be keeping a separate list of that. Who has read Budapest Crossing in Port Charles?
Maybe they have a secret book club that you don't know about.
I want in on that book club. All right.
Is there anything else besides the trial? I'm trying to think. And like the aftermath of the trial.
Sticking with Marco, he went and warned Alexis that she might have invested in a shell company that could be laundering money.
Oh, yeah, that secretary lady is totally getting fired.
Oh my goodness gracious.
For bringing that up after Laura had asked about the investments and having it there to the forefront of what's on everyone's mind, and Marco's trying to be helpful. Like, man, you're invested in a shell company. You need to change this right now.
Yep. And Laura did not respond to the name of the company. She knows Greek.
She does.
She would know that that's like a shady name.
Yeah.
But she's noticed that there's about $10 million missing from Ace's trust fund. And she's surprised that Alexis has decided to be hands-on, but she's glad that, she's at least being a good steward, I guess. So, well.
That's a lot of money, though, over just a few weeks. Like, I know Ace's trust fund is numbers that I couldn't even imagine, but at the same time, that's a lot of money. Like, How long are we going to be able to keep this going for? I know they said, well, Ace has plenty of money, but does he really, if you're like through that already?
Right. Because then on her way out, Suzanne also gave her congratulations for the new grandson.
Yes.
Or the new member of her family. Hold it, because he wouldn't be her grandson, but her grandson's brother.
Yeah.
Yeah, she needs fired.
Yeah. Oh, I guess we didn't get into all that. So we saw Dante had told they were still very much together. Like, as much as last week they were like, we're not talking, we're not hanging out, we're not doing anything. This week, Dante and Lulu were very much together in the topic of telling about the half sibling and whatever, because it was all over the internet.
Poor Rocco waking up to that. I will give Lulu a tiny bit of credit because it did look like she was torn on, I'm not supposed to be the one that tells you this, but you are literally handing me your phone saying, why are people telling me this?
Right, exactly.
You know? And then Dante walked in and shared. And Lulu actually, for a moment, was telling the truth and was owning her stuff. And then she made all the excuses. But I didn't agree with that. So I decided that everyone had to learn.
Yep. And then Dante ended up leaving. I'm not sure where Rocco went. I don't know where Rocco went because it didn't seem like he was there whenever Brook Lynn showed up. But
no.
And where is Charlotte all this time? Did I miss an announcement that Charlotte went somewhere? Because as far as I know, she has no other family outside of those in Port Charles, right?
Right.
And she's not there for any of these arguments with Dante. She's not there talking about any type of summer plans. She wasn't invited to the beach party with the boys. Like, what are we doing?
Yep.
Okay.
I don't know.
All right. I thought maybe I missed, like, she was interning in Greece or something. I don't know, but we don't see her at all.
We just don't see her.
But then Brook Lynn came and screamed and yelled.
That would have made so much sense for her to say, for Lulu to say to Dante, do you think we could tell Charlotte and Rocco together? And I could understand him being like, no, because this is a completely separate situation from Charlotte.
But I felt like that was something that she should have used whenever she told Rocco about why she couldn't keep her nose out of it. Is I was thinking about all the time that we lost with Charlotte because we didn't know she existed. And I didn't want your dad to be losing out on more time with his child. Right. I went about it the wrong way, but that was what my intention was. And that would have made more sense. But anyway, apparently no one was home, and Brook Lynn came and screamed at Lulu about, did this make her all feel better? Because now Gio's hurting.
Yeah, real quick. The line she said to Rocco, no one was more surprised than I was to find out it was Gio.
Yeah.
You think?
Right.
No one. No one but Lulu was surprised. Gio wasn't surprised. Brook Lynn wasn't surprised. Dante wasn't surprised. No one was more surprised than Lulu, though.
Yeah.
But so Brook Lynn comes over and she had just left Gloria and Lois, who blamed her for every decision they made.
Yep.
It was, thank goodness, Brook Lynn is standing her ground.
Yeah. Because they deserve kicked out.
They put it all on her, and it's like the child trusted the adults for guidance and help. And they're like, if you had said you wanted to keep the baby, we would have figured it out. Do you know what the one thing that Lois keeps saying is that Brook Lynn was just getting her music career started? She never really says anything about it. It feels like that's what she was focused on. Yeah. And it wasn't trying to actually, because was it Brook Lynn asked her, was it really my decision?
Yeah. Brook Lynn said, was it really my decision? Because at this point, she's doubting herself. Did I really say that? Or did you guys just twist what you wanted for me to think that that's what I wanted?
Yep. And really, the thing that Lois says the most when it comes to that, she does say, like, you were young and you said that, you weren't ready to have a baby and your music career was taking off.
Yeah.
I don't know. It hit me.
Right.
Because then also we find out that Camilla wanted to tell Gio as she was dying, and Brook Lynn lost it and was like, did you convince a dying woman to keep your secret? And they're like, no.
Right. No, that's how she wanted it. It would have been too much for Gio to learn that he was adopted and his mother was dying.
Yeah. And Gloria's like, if she wanted to use her last breath telling Gio, we would have let her. No, you wouldn't have.
Right. And how nice of you. Like,
right.
It was her truth to tell also if she wanted. And it does make sense. Like, putting yourself in the position as much as you can, not wanting to, but as much as you can. Yeah, if I was dying and there was someone else out there that could love my kids as much as I did, I would absolutely want to be like, hey, make sure you call these people and get in contact with them, as hard as it would be. I'm sure that whenever Camilla first said she would adopt Gio, that she wasn't planning on being a single mother who was dead by the time he was 12.
Nope. She was planning on being a single mother because her husband had already died.
Oh, had he?
It was just all the timing that worked out to be that it could have been his baby.
Okay.
Because didn't they say, because he died while Camilla was pregnant with Gio, because Gio never met him. Because then he told Sonny that too. Oh, he asked Sonny, did you know?
Yes. I'm glad that he had Sonny to lean on. And that was the cute thing that happened at the pool. We saw Laura and Sonny talking, and Gio actually came up to them and was like, are you talking about me? Like, what are you doing? And they were like, calm down. That's not happening. And that's whenever the introduction was finally made of this is the mayor, blah, 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 and whatever. But then Ezra came up and started harassing them, and Gio accidentally tripped and knocked him into the pool. That was great.
Oops. Or funny. Not even necessarily cute, but it was funny to see. And I love that Laura was so kind and gracious with.
Yes, she was like, I know Rocco's looking forward.
She thanked him for taking care of Rocco.
Mm-hmm.
He needed that.
He did. I love Laura.
I liked that. Yes.
But yeah, back to the Brook Lynn and Lulu conversation. I understand Brook Lynn being angry. Brook Lynn kicking her mother and grandmother out because they weren't doing anything but making excuses. Her asking Gio to stay so that they could, at least be somewhat close to each other. All of that I was fine with and it made sense. But whenever she went and confronted Lulu, I just didn't really understand why she bothered. I feel like if I was in the same position, I wouldn't even say anything. She'd already begged and pleaded with Lulu 100 different times by now not to get this secret out, not to keep investigating, not to say anything to Dante. And now here we are. What's Lulu going to say any different? Even if she is really sorry, it doesn't change anything now.
And the worst part is she's not, because she keeps saying, but now he has family and you guys love him. And she's like, would you really not have wanted to know that Gio was your son?
Mm-hmm.
And exactly. She was doing exactly what Lois and Gloria were doing, putting it on her that it was Brook Lynn's fault for their behavior.
Right.
And for her behavior. And she said, if it meant Gio would not be hurting right now, I would.
Right.
So, yeah. I feel bad, but I feel like, well, Gio told Sonny that he doesn't want anything to do with Dante because Dante hates him. And Sonny was like, yeah, so Dante and I got off to a rocky start too. But
at least you didn't shoot him. It's fine.
But Gio said, he's like, I am not interested in a relationship just because of biology.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Right.
Like, you can't treat someone horribly and then go, oh, but that's your dad. So now you have to love him. And now you have to just be his whipping post. No. Dante needs to do some work and work extra overtime to heal that. I think that Gio definitely accepts the fact that Dante didn't know. He is struggling with why Brook Lynn gave him up. But the reason he doesn't want to get to know Dante is because of how Dante treated him over the Rocco thing.
Oh, absolutely.
Which, sometimes people forget that their kids are people.
Mm-hmm. I think you got to go to Lucky and Liz or the trial.
So Lucky did tell Liz about cutting the brake lines.
Mm-hmm.
This whole week with them just felt weird.
It did.
Because she moved from, she realized that he could be arrested as an accessory.
Mm-hmm.
And so why he wanted to figure it all out. And he's like, subconsciously, I kind of feel like maybe I owe Alexis for Sam saving Lulu. And I didn't even think about that one.
Mm-hmm.
But Liz was like, I'm getting my cast off. I'm going to miss you being here, blah, 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 blah. And he's like, well, I'm going to make you dinner. Like, she forgave him way too quickly. I'm sorry. I knew that it was going to happen, but it was like, oh, okay.
Right, exactly. Well, you can tell me anything. You should be more honest with me. Okay.
Right, like, it's not, I can't even think. Like, it's not like, hey, I had to get you 2 half gallons of milk because they didn't have a gallon.
Right.
That's how quickly she was like, oh, sure, okay, fine, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Same thing.
Yep.
But then he gets up, she gets all cozy in her blanket, and we find a box. She finds a box. What?
Right. I don't know. I've never proposed to anyone, so I don't know. But I assume that when you're getting ready to propose to someone, you are very protective of that box. Like, you make sure that there is no way the other person is going to find that until you are ready to give it to them. You do not just carry it around, even if you just picked it up from the jeweler. You do not carry it around in your pocket in a pair of pants that it could just fall out of and you not realize. You would have come in the door and been like, oh yeah, I want to talk to you. Hold on real quick. I have to use the restroom, and run upstairs and hide it in, I don't know, a sock drawer somewhere, anywhere, attempt anything, and then come back down and have the conversation. But nope, it just fell out of his pocket.
And it was a big box too. It's not like it was just the ring. Well,
right.
So when JD proposed, we were going out to Gettysburg, and it was a Friday night. I had a horrible day at work, and I worked until 7:30 or 8, I think. And so he picked me up, and at one point I was like, you know what? I know it's only 3 hours, but can I just rest my eyes for a little bit so I can just, get rid of this? And so I grabbed his coat to cover me, and it was March. So I grabbed his coat to use it as a blanket. Ring was in his coat pocket, in the inner coat pocket. So, I mean, he did do a good job of hiding it. He's like, I thought I was going to have a heart attack the whole time. He's like, because she's going to feel it and wonder what the heck, and I didn't.
Oh, that's cute.
Yeah. But exactly.
Cute.
But he kept it at his parents' house.
Right.
Until it was time.
Yeah. Right. And he didn't expect you, I'm assuming he didn't put it in the suitcase, because you might open his suitcase and try to help unpack or something and see it there. By keeping it in his coat, you're not going through his pockets, and it's right there whenever you would go out on whatever adventure you were going out on for him to propose.
Top of Little Round Top, overlooking Devil's Den on the New York Monument, which is actually a castle, but it overlooks the bloodiest battle of the Civil War.
So romantic.
But it was. It actually was.
I know it was for you guys, but when you say it just like that, no.
Oh no, that's what my
context.
I had a friend who commented that, when I posted on Facebook and everything, and he's like, oh, how romantic, overlooking the bloodiest battle that this country's ever seen on its own ground. I'm like, thanks, Michael.
Yeah. So
anyway, then great.
Then it's just gone. We don't see them again until the next day after she's got her cast off.
Yeah, and they're walking through the park, and he set up a picnic in the gazebo, and she said that she was looking forward to, after she got it off, that she was going to ask him to dance because she misses dancing with him. And so he pulls out his phone and plays a song, and then he proposes to her.
Mm-hmm.
No.
Right. I feel like we were thinking the same thing she was. What? What are you doing?
Why? No. No.
Yeah. I understood.
You're so dead set on ruining these characters that we love. Did we make them right or mad?
Maybe we did. They're
I don't know how we could have, honestly. We're nice compared to a lot of people online.
That's true. But maybe we were just predicting something too well, and they were like, nope, let's shake it all up, because it was just too soon. No matter what, it was too soon. And I understand why she said no, and I totally get that. She explained, I know you're not going to be happy here, and I love you, so I want you to be happy. I just don't want you here to make me happy. And so, tell me that being here actually makes you happy. And he was like, oh, geez, no, I'd love to leave tomorrow. And then goes on to, well, maybe you could come with me. And she says no. And he says, well, they could take Aiden with them, blah, 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 and whatever. And so, here we are back to the same spot of he's going to end up leaving because he's not happy. Port Charles has never been his home, blah, 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 blah. But I don't know why we needed to be there already. Couldn't we have at least had the summer together to see where it goes? It didn't need to be so rushed. And not that I want Liz leaving, but maybe after spending the summer together and actually building up on this romance, not in the middle of trauma that her leg just got broken or he just got back from being, held hostage and almost killed, that we could see where they wanted it to go.
Right. And we're not there yet, but so far, where we are with the Lucky and Liz thing, he has not left.
Right.
And he has definitely had a few good reasons to just up and leave.
He's had multiple job offers that he would have made good money and been fine to leave. And he said no. And even more so than for Liz, for Aiden, he's had multiple conversations with him saying he wasn't going to leave. So why is he leaving now?
Right. It makes absolutely no sense.
Right. You knew that you weren't happy in Port Charles when you first came back to Port Charles. So why would you say that to your son that you've already disappointed repeatedly? You wouldn't. It's just weird.
And I feel like Port Charles was his first home.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Okay, so we'll get to it. We will get to it. It's probably not going to be until August. But we do get to the part where he does leave for the first time. And it's kind of a good reason.
Right.
So, and then just all this stuff.
Right. I understand not feeling like someplace is home, but then he has to sit and think about my mom's here, my sister's here, my nieces and nephews are here, who I want to be my wife is here, my son is here. Yeah, that's your home, bro. It's not about the place. It's about the people you get to interact with daily.
So it feels like it was just thrown in there to ruin. Okay, I don't think that this completely ruined Lucky and Liz forever.
No, but what are we going to have to wait till we're 80 for them to actually get together? So old he has to be in the old folks home and then he's going to settle? It doesn't make any sense. It's a total 180. It seemed like Lucky wanted to be there, and that's what he came back to say. I've been gone all these years, and now I've decided you're my home. The kids are my home. I want to be here. And that
was the other thing, is that it wasn't just Liz. It was he wanted to build a relationship with Aiden.
Mm-hmm.
And he says to Liz, I don't know how I'm going to tell him. And she's like, I have an idea.
Right.
What are they going to do? Have a bake-off?
I don't know. I will be interested to see how this all plays out, because I was not counting on Lucky. If he was going to leave, I assumed that we at least had the summer with him, because I thought that's what they were going to do. Fully explore their relationship and then be like, you know what? Nostalgia got the best of us. I do love you. You're the mother/father, whatever, of my child, but it's just not here. We're basing too much off of our past instead of who we are now. And so go ahead and go, do something else. And I would have accepted that. That makes sense. People grow and change.
But also, and I'm not saying that you have to before you get engaged, and I feel like especially for them, but first of all, it's been years since they've been together, really. They weren't intimate yet, right?
No.
Not that we knew of. I mean, okay, they were intimate on a way different level, which is the emotional intimacy that they were reconnecting and all that, which is fantastic. We never saw them beyond kissing. We didn't even see them passionately kiss yet. Lucky and Liz do. For them to not even get to that step, because I think that you could even
maybe we're
kiss
supposed
somebody,
to
but then it's
did?
Maybe
because I feel slept over.
Maybe, but she was in it. Okay.
Yeah, she was the cast. I don't know exactly how that.
I don't know, but I just feel like that would have been the step where that would have been a huge step for them to take. Is okay, are we going to go beyond dances in the living room?
When you have a Pixel 10, you may get asked a few questions, like, what is that? How did you do that? And can we use your camera instead? Ask more of your phone. Google Pixel 10.
Holding hands and kisses.
Right. That would have been a nice attempt to see them get to that point, and then
that's what I'm saying.
You know what?
It's like we didn't even have that.
Yeah, like
so
I'm not feeling it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Or have it be, you know what? I'm having Liz be a little bit timid of, you know what? I'm not ready. I can't. I need more from you. I need you to be here.
Yeah.
And not just in my bed. Which
Yep.
I don't think that he ever gave the impression that that's all that he wanted. But for us to just jump over that part with them.
Well, because they were supposed to go to New York. So I feel like we were going to get that in New York. And then they didn't end up going because of the car accident.
Right. Exactly. So
yeah, I'm with you. I would have written it differently too.
Yep. So I guess we'll see what happens. So yeah, then we just have court, which is the custody hearing.
Mm-hmm.
And Carly took the stand and talked about seeing a video of Willow and Drew sleeping together in the kids' nursery, and Willow and Nina trying to take the kids away without Michael even knowing after they were in bed.
Yep.
And, Willow only cares about herself, not the kids that were sleeping. And Wiley called her from DC.
Yep. That was great.
Wiley makes a lot of phone calls.
He does. He does.
And then Chase took the stand, and he had to remove the kids from Nina's house because they had a court order. And he had to admit that Willow was not faithful to him while they were married.
Uh-huh.
And then Dante confirmed that the incendiary device was not for Michael. But then he also had to confirm that Michael was convicted of manslaughter, which is what somebody wrote to us earlier in the episode. But it had nothing to do with this. It had to do with the Jason and Liz.
Right.
And then Joss was great.
Oh my God. I loved her because she really could have gone either way, because she does lose her temper like her mother often. And so when Rick kept pushing her, it was like, oh man, even Carly said, Jocelyn, don't lose it. And instead she was like, I'm not sure. You would have to ask Willow what her intentions were there. I'm not sure. You'd have to ask Michael what his intentions there. All I can tell you is I ran into Willow at the nurses' ball, and she told me nothing matters more than being with Drew. And then Drew came into the women's room and told me that Michael was going to lose his kids because he abandoned them.
Yep.
It was great.
And then Michael took the stand and said that he was so in love with her, but he ignored the red flags because she had been in a cult. And so that made her more susceptible to basically just follow people around and do whatever they wanted. She had the cancer diagnosis that she lied to him about or withheld from him for months. And then Rick was like, so you're talking about her upbringing. How about yours?
Yeah.
He's like, you were shot. You were also the victim of a firebomb, and you were convicted of involuntary manslaughter.
Mm-hmm.
And then Sasha went on the stand, and Nina had told Rick about the bartender, and Rick got it out of her that Michael was the father of her child.
Yeah.
And then she went into labor, and then Willow delivered the baby. Meantime, out in the hallway, Carly figures out that Nina's the one who told Rick.
That was so good.
Told Drew. She was turning to leave and then goes, oh, by the way, Nina drugged you, or Nina hired Jacinda and she drugged you. Right.
That was great. I loved it.
So then the next day, Friday, we see they're in the hospital and the baby's name is Daisy.
I'm not sure. I don't dislike the name Daisy, but I was expecting like some type of family name or reason behind that. Did I miss that she had a reason?
No, and I was waiting for one because Sasha's baby's name. Hold on. Aw, someone says she should have had a little girl named her Brandy in honor of Brando.
Oh, that would have been sweet.
There's a bunch of people hoping that it was Monica. I was thinking it would have been great if it was Leslie, because then that would have been Leslie Charlson.
Yeah.
But we didn't get an answer.
Okay. All right. I wasn't sure. Like, I was mostly paying attention, but not all the way. And then I heard her be like, "This is Daisy." And I was like, okay, waiting for her to say after my so-and-so. And instead it was just like decided that was Daisy. Like did her and Michael even really discuss it? Like I kind of just felt like that was Daisy. Oh, but she asked Jason to be the godfather. That was sweet.
When she said
for everything.
When she said that, I'm sure Michael's not going to disagree.
Yes, it was very sweet. Oh, and I loved Carly asking Jason, if I would have asked you point blank if this was your baby, would you have told me the truth? And he was like, probably not.
Well, she was like, why'd you lie to me? And why didn't you tell me? He's like, because Michael told me not to.
Right.
Like, you expect me to keep your secrets? I'm going to keep his too. Yep. Especially when it came to something like this. I am glad that Michael's going to be able to be a part of the baby's life.
Yeah, me too.
You know, it doesn't seem like Sasha's now saying, okay, now I'm leaving Port Charles because now everybody knows.
Mm-hmm.
So, but then Nina came and told Sasha. Nina went to Drew and was like, yeah, so if you tell Willow that I had you drugged, I will tell her that we slept together and we will both lose her. He's like, it's fine. We're going to DC anyway.
Yeah.
And then Michael left to go get the kids to meet their new little sister. How confusing could that be for them? Right. But whatever.
Right, exactly.
Daddy says we have a new sister. But then he asked Willow to come meet her too. And Michael said yes. And so she was holding Amelia as they were looking in on the baby. And Drew sees them in the hallway.
Oh, his face. He was just livid. I thought for a minute that they were going to go to Sasha's room and overhear Nina telling Sasha that she had drugged Drew. And then I wasn't sure because then Sasha was like, well, you know that Willow's making horrible choices. If that was going to kind of undo the little bit of repair that had been done by Willow delivering the baby and just everyone being like nice about it.
Yeah.
But I don't know. They seem convinced, like Willow was talking to Carly and was like, well, now for sure I'm going to get custody, blah, blah, blah. I don't think that sealed the deal because like Sasha said, her and Michael hooked up because they were both hurting and upset and had too much to drink and made a mistake. It doesn't matter as far as fathering a child. You could have hooked up with someone once or 1,000 times. That doesn't mean that you're definitely going to father a child or not father a child. Like, it's all just the roll of that dice as far as if that happens or not. So they've only been together once, and it was in that moment of hurt because he was saying, like, I'm still in love with Willow and she's kissing Drew and blah, blah, blah. But yet Sasha heard or testified that Willow was going on about how much she cares about Drew and that was what mattered. So I don't know that the judge is going to find in her favor over this. I'm not really sure what infidelity has to do with custody anyway, unless they're with a psychopath, because again, real life, unfortunately, that doesn't matter. So I'm not sure what all that information needed, why it needed to be brought out in the court anyway, but I don't think that it seals the deal one way or the other.
Right.
Like,
no, I agree. It is
about
like our friend wrote in earlier, you know, we joke often about we're not taking medical advice. Well, we're also not, it would take forever.
Right. And I don't mean that kids shouldn't be around their parents' significant others. I mean, it should come into play that if the parent has like a revolving door, that maybe the kids don't need to be involved in that just yet.
Or if there's a safety issue or...
Right.
Yeah.
I said if, unfortunately, it doesn't come into play unless they're a psychopath.
Right. If there's a...
Extenuating circumstances too. Stability. That's what matters.
Yes, exactly. Unfortunately, Drew is consistently there.
Right.
So...
But the fact that he's talking about moving the kids, I think that should have been brought up in court. Like, Drew has a daughter whose mother just passed away. All of the mother's family is here. And yet he's talking about moving to DC, which would then also move Michael's children away from him. Is that in the kids' best interest? All three of them, not that we're talking about Scout at that moment, but just to show that Drew's unstable.
Right.
I don't know. I really hope this wakes Willow up. Like, there was a glimmer of the old Willow in there.
Right. I don't know.
I don't know either.
I think that is it, though.
Oh, Sasha was, it must have been something in the water this week, though. Sasha was just as forgiving as Liz was. Nina's like, yeah, I'm the one that told Rick that it was Michael's baby, probably, that you guys hooked up, blah, 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 blah. And she's like, I'm just too tired to even be angry anymore. What?
Right. Save
You're
it.
tired to be upset that this woman blew up your life? Like, what?
Right. No.
Oh, man. I know labor is exhausting, but I was not too tired after labor to hold a grudge if something like that would have happened.
No. I think that if someone came in my room and dropped a bomb like that, I'd probably muster up a little energy.
Reality check.
I could actually piggyback on that one for reality check. My son's best friend had a baby this week. And they had a little baby girl, and the name is Beautiful. Her name is not Beautiful.
Yeah.
But where it's not my child, and even though nobody knows them, I'm...
Right. It's not appropriate to share the name, but...
Yeah. And he was so funny, though, because, you ask the typical questions of the baby. So first, he was just up at Target, which is, 10, 15 minutes away from my house?
Yeah.
He had to run up there because there was something that only they had. So he's like, okay, I have to run up to Target, get it real quick. And he calls me on his way home. So not that far. And he's like, it's happening. So I knew exactly. And I was like, okay. He's like, yeah. He's like, I just can't believe it, And it was nighttime. I think it was 8:30, 9 o'clock. So he said something. He's like, well, I don't know. I might wind up going to the hospital. I was like, you cannot go to the hospital right now. And he's like, okay. I was like, I'm telling you, you will not be allowed to be with them in the hospital. And he's like, okay.
Right.
But he wound up going after work the next day. And so I had been asking him what the name was. And he's like, oh, I forgot to ask. Before he met her. And so I'm like, I get all choked up. And I was like, oh, well, how big is she? He's like, well, she's little, but she's kind of like a big little. And I'm just like...
A typical boy answer when it's not his baby.
And I was like, cool. He said, but I do know that she was born at 11:30 on the dot.
Aw.
So, yeah. I mean, and this is one of his best friends that he's had. So it's at least high school. I keep forgetting. Somebody asked me the other day, and I'm like, they might have gone to middle school together, but I can't. I don't know. Our school district is so weird. The kids know each other forever. So it's...
Right. They probably went to the same school, but that doesn't mean that they have the same classes because...
Right. That's true.
Even now with Madeline, all of the 6th graders from our district go to her school, and there's still kids that she's like, well, they weren't in my, however they split them up. They call them pods.
Yeah.
So they weren't in my pod. So yeah, I know that name, but I don't know them. And I'm like, how do you not know them? You've been in school... Because that was how it worked last year, too. This is now your 2nd year with only these kids, pretty much. How do you not know everybody? And she's like, because it's still too big. there's multiple pods. You don't know them. And I'm like, okay,
yeah.
Whatever. So,
it's just so difficult because I don't remember a time without this kid. So I'm like, maybe it has been since middle school or whatever. So either way, yeah, that was really fun to see him happy for his friends, and just... He's like, I'm an uncle.
Aw, that's so cute.
Yeah, but just the fact that he called me when he was only 10, 15 minutes away from home to tell me, I was like, yay. And then one of my buyers is a friend that I've had for almost 30 years. It's around there. And we were in band together too in high school. And she's moving. She lives in the house that she grew up in. And so she's cleaning it out to move into the house that she's buying. And she found this cereal box that I totally forgot we were on in the band. So those were the Kolos years. I was on a cereal box.
How did they do that? I'm telling you,
I don't know.
It's a different world sometimes between the things that I know of that happened when I lived in Ohio versus the things that happened in the towns in Pennsylvania. Because I'm like, how is that even a thing? You just submit a picture to what cereal company? Why is their cereal company so small? that it's
So
like
it was
it's a
the football
picture.
team was on the front, and then the band and the cheerleaders were on the back.
Yeah.
I don't know if it was, did we win like the championship the year before? And so it was, I know that we.
But what local company produces cereal boxes like that? Like, that's just crazy. Could you imagine right now me being like, oh, Madeline's on a cereal box because our football team was on it? You would think that was insane. It's insane.
For now it'd be easier to find a company that did that.
Right.
You know, back then it was 1998. Hold on, let me go find the picture. I think it was 1998. It looks like Carlisle Cereal Company. Carlisle Cereal Company. Custom. Yeah, you can do a custom.
That's crazy.
Cereal box.
That's crazy.
Interesting. But yeah, it was Hometown Heroes. Golden flakes of corn cereal.
Did she open up the cereal, try it, see how good it is after 27 years?
Oh, no. Please, no. Yeah, what year is it? 1997 football.
Okay.
So that would have been my sophomore year.
Wow.
Yeah. So that was just weird. And then we are getting ready to, in just a couple hours, head to Boston. So, yay!
I'm jealous. Everybody's going on vacation this week except for me, and now I'm mad because there's a night at the races next Friday that I had said to you about. Now you can't go because obviously you're out of town, but I mentioned it to my family, and my sister recently bought a Bronco, and apparently there's like an event that you can go to if you're a Bronco owner where you get to go to the manufacturing plant, and then they like let you take not your Bronco but other Broncos out, like four-wheeling or being all crazy with them. So she's doing that this week. I have no idea what state that's in, but she's doing that this week. And then my brother, he's not really going to be on vacation, but he'll be in Ohio for a work trip, but then he gets to visit like all of our family and friends that live out there. And so everybody was like, no, we can't do anything Friday. And I'm like, well, you guys all suck, and I'm going to be here by myself all bored.
Sorry.
No fair. How dare you have a vacation without me?
To be fair, I mean, so I grew up going to Boston every summer for 2 weeks because my mom didn't work, and that's where her family was from. And I definitely did not take my kids up there because I was working 2 jobs.
Got it. I'm excited to hear your stories of relaying information to them, and like how excited they will be to hear that.
I've never really done touristy things up there, though. Like, I mean, I lived there for a little bit and I've seen things, but like I've never gone to a Red Sox game at Fenway, and I finally am. I've never done a lot of the things that we're going to do. And I was telling them, I was like, well, yeah, I'm like, but we would just hang out at my grandparents' house, or we would go to the park, or my Auntie Erica played baseball and it was in a lot of summer tournaments. And so we would just go watch her play.
Yeah.
Like, or go to the beach. Like, that was it.
Nice.
So, yeah. But yeah, so I guess join us on Thursday as we continue talking about Lucky and Liz. But it's like the downfall of Lucky and Liz right now.
It is the downfall of Lucky and Liz. You skipped my reality check. That's how excited you are to leave.
I thought that you just were talking about it. You said that.
Oh, I didn't get into this week.
Well, that's what I thought you were saying was your reality check. Okay.
No,
sorry.
No, you're fine. I just like teasing you. No, just like real quick this week, it wasn't that exciting of a week to talk about it, except for talking about like leading off of your doing stuff that you normally do if you live in the town. So I don't do sports. Everyone knows this. I'll go to a game here or there because it has yummy food. And so I'm always up for snacking on the yummy food. But my ex loves going to the baseball games. So he takes the kids all the time. So it's just not my thing. I don't really do it. Well, Ryan has a friend that lives in Texas, and he was coming up here to visit family, and he likes the Astros, and they were playing this week. So he bought tickets to see them here in Pittsburgh, and then something happened and his trip got canceled. So he called Ryan yesterday and was like, I have 4 seats to the Pirate game. They're like ridiculously good seats because I was going with my mom and whatever, blah, blah, blah. Take these tickets and take your family or whatever. So Ryan calls me from work and he's like, yeah, can we go to the game tonight? Blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, what are you talking about? Like, we never do that stuff. So we went to the game yesterday. It was supposed to start at 6:45. It would not
rain delayed.
Stop raining. It did not start till 10 o'clock. I was like, this is why I don't do sports things, and this is why I
Oh my
don't do like
gosh.
whatever. And the kids are fine with it. Like, it's the first week of summer. Madeline, the first week I'm very lax with all rules. Like, enjoy your first week because it's
Same.
the first week.
Yep.
After that, we got to get onto some type of schedule or should stay up all night every night. So it wasn't a big deal. It was late and we had, yummy food and whatever and stuff. But I just thought it was funny. Like, when I do attempt to do the Pittsburgh stuff, the game gets delayed till 10 o'clock and I'm tired and I want to go home and we didn't win. And so, no.
I'm sorry. That's a bummer.
But Ryan was happy and his friend was happy that the tickets got used. And it was cute to see Madeline because now she like knows the stuff that goes on, like when the pierogi race is and like where they shoot the t-shirt cannons from and all that stuff.
Yeah.
So it was cute to hear her be like, next is gonna blah 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 blah, and now they're gonna play this song. Like she knew all the ins and outs, so it was enjoyable. I had fun, but it just kind of proved my point of I am not supposed to be at sporting events, so please stop inviting me to things.
Okay, I will not ask you to ever go to a game. Okay, now I am. Are you done now?
I am done. No, you're good. You're good.
I really thought that was your reality check. I thought that was like a nice segue.
My reality check is that everyone's abandoning me. Yes, but that was this upcoming week.
Okay, sorry.
You're fine.
Yep. So, still join us on Thursday, and then we'll talk about Lucky and Liz.
Have a good week,
and we'll meet you at the pier. Bye.
If you enjoyed today's show, we invite you to go to pier54podcast.com to subscribe on your favorite platform. Don't forget to leave us a review.
And you can also follow us on many social media channels. Just search for Pier 54 Podcast. Also, we are not perfect, so if there is something that we missed or messed up, just let us know by emailing us at pier54podcast@gmail.com.
If you're looking for entertainment, come to Gala. Whether you're ready to jump and jive and let your inner dancing queen shine, or put your feet up with a baker's bun and a cup of tea. At Gala, it's always time for fun. Gala Bingo, where a little joy goes a long way. 18 plus terms apply. Please gamble responsibly.
Pay attention. The ferry leaves at 10 a.m. Roads are busy.
Great.
Dad, pack the boot. Suitcases, Tetris style.
Yeah.
Rosie, got your teddy?
Uh-huh.
No going back this time. Honey, how's the car?
Windows clean, car wax, carpets.
I meant the tyres.
Oh, sorted them at Quick Fit last week.
Brilliant. If things go to plan, it'll be smooth sailing.
Planning the perfect getaway this summer? Make sure your tyres are up for the job. Book today at quickfit.com or your local centre. Quick Fit. Drive away happy every time.